Sorry.
I'll make a motion to nominate Commissioner Patrick O'Malley as temporary chairman. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye?
Aye.
Okay.
Commissioner,
Commissioner
we're going
Bell.
to start with the Board of Managers.
Pledge of allegiance.
You're right.
Okay.
No more than-
Ladies and gentlemen, pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. I'd like to bring this Board of Managers meeting to order. Wednesday, January 24, 2018, the Commissioners' Conference Room. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it. Opportunity for the public to address the board on agenda items only. Okay, we're not going to be able to do motion number one. That's going to be chairman, vice chairman, or second. We're going to table that until next month. I'd like to make a motion to table chairman and vice chairman until next month. Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Okay, and we'll also make a motion, 18-2002 and 18-2003. That's a motion also that we will have, they also will approve the Robert's Rules of Order and the schedule next month. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, reports. Juvenile detention. Mary Stein.
Good afternoon. Currently, we have 3 juveniles at the center. December admissions were at 9. Days of service was 121. Overtime for the year was a total of $4,057.13, down $8,972.87 from last year. 3 detention officers are still on intermittent FMLA. I have a 4th that's getting ready to go on FMLA, and one of those officers still has not returned to work from an October 14th injury. And that concludes my report.
Does the board have any questions for Director Stein? Okay, could I have a motion for the Juvenile Detention Center report? Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opportunity for the public to address the board. Members, other business? Can I have a motion to adjourn? Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. Okay. I'd like to bring this Wednesday, January 24th prison board meeting to order in the Commissioners' Conference Room. I call it to order. I have a motion for the approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Could I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Opportunity for the public to address the board on agenda items only. Okay, the next motions are the same exact motions that we'd have to do for the changing of the Roderick rules and the vice chair and chairman and the times and all that other stuff. We already made a table on the last one. I don't think I have to make a motion, do I, at this time? Should I? Okay. Okay, I'd like to make a motion that 18-1004, 18-1005, 18-1006, 18-1000, and those motions are for chairman, vice chairman.
Just up to 1/6.
Not 00, we need to do that one today.
What's that?
We can
do the payables.
18.
Oh, okay. Okay, so 18-1106. So that'll be the Roderick Rules of Order, the time and the place, and the chairman and vice chairman. Do I have a motion? Second? All in favor? Aye. 18-1000. Motion to approve the current payables for Community Correction Center, Juvenile Detention Center, and the prison. Anything on the question? Okay, could I have a motion? Can I have a motion to approve the community? So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, reports 18-1001, Controller's Report.
The Controller's Office reviewed the prison inmate canteen account reconciliations which were prepared by the prison's business office for the month of December 2017 and found no discrepancies between the reconciliations and the bank statements.
The balance in the inmate account was $367,347.98 as of December 31st, 2017. The balance in the canteen checking account was $502,284.21 as of December 31st of 2017. And in addition, as of December 31st, 2017, the canteen account owned 2 certificates of deposit, one valued at $15,000 and the other at $131,855.65, totaling $146,855.65. And that concludes my report.
Okay. Does the board have any questions for Controller DeVillio? Okay, can I have a motion on the Controller's report? Have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
18-1002, Community Corrections Center. Director Jeffers.
Good afternoon, Board.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Community Corrections Program report for December 2017. The financials in this will be the year's totals, so everyone is aware. Item 1, our program totals for the month of December were 46 participants in male work release, 6 female participants in female work release. We had 146 participants in adult house arrest and 13 participants in juvenile house arrest. Our program revenues totaling for the year were $868,619.79. Our totals for the month of December were $72,065.52. Our program's expenses for the month of December were $641.74. Item 5, our program's completions for December were work release had 5, house arrest had 46. Our program violations for the month of December, work release had 5, house arrest had 6. Our program warrants, work release has 5, house arrest has 2. And our budget for overall for the year, overtime was at 117%, expenses at 95%, revenue at 115%. The last item is personnel, and it needs to be updated. The 2 full-time openings, one has been filled, and the bid for the second one has come down, and that's expected to be filled very soon. That completes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Jeffers. Does the board have any questions for Director Jeffers?
Just the fact that the overtime is up, is that, and Commissioner Rantarian shared with me that the 2 parts would be the quit, is that why, or?
The overtime for last year, we had an opening in a part-time position for about 7 months, and that caused it. Right now, our overtime for January is high because of the 2 retirements, yes.
Okay, can I have a motion for Community Corrections Center report?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 18-1003, Warden's report.
Good afternoon, Board.
Afternoon, Warden.
The average daily population for the month of December was 869 inmates. The overtime, out-of-county boarding, and community service reports are attached. The staffing update, currently our correction officers' numbers break down to 167 uniformed staff on shift, 3 in the category of other, 10 vacancies for a total of 180 officers. We have no one out on workers' comp at this point in time. FMLA, we have 29 officers who have intermittent FMLA. That accounts for approximately 17% of the officers. Our budget as of December 31st, the revenue is at 115%, and expenses are at 90%. Not all the bills have been received and/or paid. Same with the revenue, but we're well within our 2017 budget. Juvenile inmates, currently we're housing 3 male juveniles and no female juveniles. Inmates at or past their minimum, we have a number of 31. 8 of them have no home plan with, should say 4 of the 8 in our community service program. 5, parole has been denied due to unacceptable home plans. 11 have submitted home plans and we're awaiting action by the judge. 6 have been remanded to serve the balance of their sentences, and 1 is an other category. That individual is temporarily in a New Jersey facility, so he can't be paroled at this point in time. Extraordinary occurrence reports. There were 4 extraordinary occurrences since the last prison board meeting. On December 31st, the county inmate was uncooperative and resisting orders upon commitment, and he was placed into the restraint chair for his own safety and for staff safety. On January 1st, a county inmate was assaulted by another county inmate, which required admission to a hospital. On January 11th, the county inmate was placed into the restraint chair after he was observed attempting to cause himself harm. And on January 12th, the county inmate was placed into the restraint chair for staff safety after he attempted to assault an officer. PREA, there were 3 allegations of PREA violations in the month of December. There was 1 staff sexual misconduct, which was deemed founded. There was 1 staff sexual harassment, which was deemed unfounded, and there was 1 inmate-on-inmate sexual harassment, which was deemed unfounded. And commissary and food service RFP updates, we'll be convening our respective review committees next week, Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and next week, to review both RFPs, and we'll have recommendations for the board at the February meeting. And this concludes my report.
Thank you, Warden. Does the board have any questions for the warden? Can I have a motion for the warden's report? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opportunity for the public to address the board.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Bob Bola, Scranton. One of the things is I'd like to thank Mr. Jeffers. We had people from the Work Release Center that he allowed to attend our Christmas dinner, but they also participated in helping in the preparation, decorating, and things like that. And it was nice to see them there, that they didn't have to stay somewhere on Christmas Day and not be able to get out for Christmas. And they did a great job. They made the place look like $1 million. Next issue I have is the pillows. I've been harping about them. Now we've talked about the beds because they got a little bump on the end of them. It's like laying in your swimming pool, so you could lay on it. But you can't fluff it. You can't get it comfortable under your head. And it's a joke. We've spent millions of dollars in this county, and we could supply inmates with pillows that are washable when they leave, and there's no reason they can't be provided. It's bad enough you got to sleep on the mattress that's there. And if we were over at the prison, I would have asked the warden to bring one that's been used, not a brand new one out of the box, and lay it on the table and show everybody exactly what you have to sleep on. So, you know, there's no more time for games or kicking this ball all over the field. There's no reason in the world we cannot have pillows for inmates in the jail. It's going to help reduce the tension in the jail. People, and I don't care who it is in this room, if you don't have a pillow under your head, you have a miserable night's sleep. So I'm looking at it in a lot of different areas that should work out, and there's no reason we can't buy them. Is they're worried about, oh, somebody could smother somebody with them. Like, if there's somebody's going to smother somebody, they could use their bedroll, they could use clothes, they could use anything in there they want to use. The place has got cameras, so there's no excuses for not having a pillow in there. And I think that's what we should look for, and I'm asking the board to finally approve it and buy them and end this nonsense. The other part is, my understanding is the logo, correctional care was reappointed. I think it was unfair to the people. I was one of the people that went through his inadequate medical treatment. I made it very apparent to the board. He was brought before the board and refused to discuss it when he was given an open opportunity with HIPAA waived and everything else, and he refused to do it. I think the other participants that were bidding this should have been brought to a public meeting where we, the public, could have questioned them and asked them questions that maybe the board didn't ask. Individuals that were former employees as a logo should have been questioned and had a better understanding. We made this a dollar and cents thing, and I think we put care to the side that should have been put as a priority. And I speak from experience, and I think we just made the wrong move because we put dollars and cents on rather than, I think, the quality of the treatment that we should be getting and what we're paying for should have been first and foremost. That was the care of the inmates in the prison with adequate care and not just some rhetoric that we heard from somebody. Thank you. I have to leave. I've got a bunch of different things on my agenda today. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye,
Bob.
Bob.
Hi, I'm Amy Fleming from Glenburn, and I'm part of Progressive Women. But I also volunteered for a year in the women's prison with EOTC. So I've been a mental health worker, so I had a lot of concern about the women's mental health. And, you know, I know the warden has said the women over 55% have been diagnosed with mental health issues, and I'm sure, and there are plenty that haven't been diagnosed. And I just was wondering, with this medical contract that, as Bob Bolles just spoke about, has just been renewed, what are we going to do for the mental health issues? I didn't know if anything else was going to be done, you know, around medication or what, but I think it is a big concern.
Warden, would you have any comment on that?
Ward, would you like to talk about what we have, that we have the psychiatrists and other people out there for these issues? And contracts with different people?
Yeah, what we do have is we have a,
Wait, why you come?
Go to the microphone.
I think
Okay. Well,
and then you can finish.
yeah.
What we do have is we have 40 hours a week of service from the Scranton Counseling Center. We have a master's level individual who works with the inmate population. We have a psychiatrist who's subcontracted by Correctional Care. Of course, there is treatment court, and treatment court, although not run out of the prison, you know, it's very tied into the prison when you have an individual who's in jail that's part of the mental health treatment court. We have 10 counselors. Some of them do have appropriate degrees. They have degrees in bachelor's in psychology, sociology, and things along those lines as well. That's about the extent of it.
that was reflected in the proposal that was reviewed.
I'm sorry?
That, what you explained was
Yes.
reflected in the proposal that was reviewed.
Yes.
That services.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Anything else before I?
Thanks, Warden.
I just want to say, you know, one thing, we're very short on psychiatrists in this area. We just don't have anywhere near enough, so any that are involved, that psychiatrist isn't going to have a lot of time. I have a concern about medication, and is there any thought of hiring, you know, physician's assistant with mental health degree or a psychiatric nurse who can follow patients with their medication? Because I know some weren't followed and some weren't getting their medication, and they need to be followed. So,
Warden answered it.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Good afternoon. Jean Harris, also with the Progressive Women of Northeast Pennsylvania. Just three questions. I'm wondering where a person could get the legal rules and regulations with regard to the use of canteen funds, what the procedures are, and what that money can be spent on. Is there such a document? And if there is, how would I be able to obtain that?
Pennsylvania code, I'm not sure what the exact section is.
So the only rules are in the Pennsylvania code. The county doesn't have its own. Thank you. I'm also curious about is there an inmate handbook, a book that is given to handmates, or a guide for what they can expect and what is expected of them? And again, if so, where a copy of that can be obtained?
Warden?
Go through the questions and then.
Yeah, then we'll have them answered.
And then the third is just, I was wondering if the warden could give an update. At the last meeting, he talked about an interest in trying to reestablish a GED and education program, and I was just wondering the status of that. I think that's important for people to know if there's movement forward on creating that.
Thank you.
After their own.
Warden, at the end, let everybody go up first.
Oh,
Is there
okay.
anybody else that's
I'll wait
speak?
till the end.
Yeah, then you can do
Anybody
it.
else ready to speak?
Thanks.
Yeah.
My name is Uta Dreher, Utadreher. I am here for prison advocates, and especially Beth DeBarros, who I just coined today while we were waiting here. I thought that should be called the prison bookmobile. You got cards to get books to all sections now, and there are 11 trained volunteers who are very, very dedicated, and they love their work for being able to be so appreciated for what they are doing. And the program is doing well, thank you. And also, you have been asked to bring books, or anybody, bring soft cover books of appropriate content here, and I'm prepared to take them with me. I am here talking for Beverly because she was not able to come today. And I'm prepared to take the books, and if there are too many that I can't carry, then she'll pick them up on Friday.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Dr. Bressler.
Okay.
Dr. Stephanie Bressler, Scranton, representing Progressive Women of Northeastern Pennsylvania. Several months ago, I asked about compliance with Pennsylvania Code 95.232.7, which states that a written local policy must provide for an annual documented review of a prison's healthcare delivery system by the prison, and when necessary, revisions shall be made to each healthcare procedure and program by the prison. When I raised this question a couple of months ago, I was told that statistics were provided regularly, but that it appeared that there wasn't any review, any documented review done of the healthcare delivery system. So I'm asking today, has a review of the healthcare delivery system, which of course would include psychiatric services, which we've heard about today is very important, has that review been completed for the prison for 2017, or is it scheduled, and have revisions been made based on it? So that's my first set of questions. My second set of questions, again, related to healthcare, according to the request for proposals that you did for healthcare services, all healthcare services must be in compliance with the National Commission on Correctional Healthcare. How does the prison and the healthcare provider ensure that NCCHC's recommendations for women's nutrition and diet are followed? One of the NCCHC's recommendation is for women to consume a minimum of calcium and vitamin D. When I asked 2 months ago about the availability of milk, I was told that milk would be available under the new food services contract. But we hear again today that that food services contract has not been awarded. So since that has been delayed, is there a way for women to have access to milk in the prison, or other sources of calcium for the women who cannot tolerate milk? And I don't know whether the canteen fund could be used to purchase milk for women, but we do know that having calcium and vitamin D is very important for women's bone health. My third set of questions have to do with how language barriers are managed in the prison, and is there a policy for managing language barriers in the prison? What is the procedure for providing assistance to inmates who cannot communicate due to limited English? And in particular, what is the procedure for assisting these inmates with limited English proficiency as they try to access health services?
Anyone else? Okay, Ward, would you like to go first?
All right, I will attempt to do my best here. Let's see, Ms. Harris was asking about the canteen fund use. I charted down that Attorney Sulfanelli asked that, and then you asked about the inmate handbook. There is a handbook. I can get you a copy of it. That's not a problem. If you want to give me contact information, I can either mail it or email it to you. It's not, every single person who comes into the facility gets an inmate handbook. So we have that readily available at all times. Regarding GED, I was actually, just before the meeting started, talking with Jane Augustine. Oh, there you are. I knew Jane was here. We've been talking back and forth about that. What we are waiting for, unfortunately, we're continuing to wait until we have the full implementation from the phone contract and we get those e-tablets. We want to see what kind of GED-related materials are there, because that may reduce our cost, because the OTC may not have to purchase as many supplies but we are moving forward with it. I wish we were there already. At this point in time, we're just not there because the infrastructure at the jail is being updated to address these wireless e-tablets.
I'm sorry, can I interrupt you there?
Yes.
When I voted with down there, I was told the prisoners would not have access to those e-tabs.
Well, what we said was we would provide the prison board with a policy and procedure before ever putting it into place. We're getting the infrastructure that's being put into place covers more than just the e-tablets. There's some other wireless events that go on with the new phone contract that we have, like video visitation and things like that. So we have some wiring going in, being put in by GTL. One of the components when we get there is the e-tablets. We haven't seen one yet, and so we haven't developed a policy yet. We know that there are other institutions, both in Pennsylvania and throughout the country, that have e-tablets, exactly what we're looking at. But I do know that we did promise that we would develop a policy and procedure and bring it to the board before thinking about implementing it. So we haven't jumped the gun on you.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, that they shouldn't have access to a tablet. I mean, whatever. I mean, I would be against that.
The next thing that was mentioned, the healthcare delivery system documentation, Dr. Bressler. I do get a monthly report from the Correctional Care Inc. I know when we first talked about it, I did a little bit of homework since then. I went back in time to our previous providers as well. It was consistent with what we got with previous providers as well as that. We got a sit-down annual meeting. Did we have that? I purposely put it on hold until we came out with a new either contract or provider. We're at that point now. Correctional Care has been signed on for another 3 years, and I will be having an annual sit-down with Correctional Care. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I don't expect that it's going to be much more beyond the monthly statistics that I do get, but I do listen to what you say, and it does give me ideas of avenues of discussion to have with Correctional Care, and I'll certainly follow those. Healthcare, you mentioned also about, I'm not really sure, the healthcare NCCHC, the calcium and vitamin D. Milk is in all three proposals for our new food service provider. There will be milk available. Right now, what we have been doing for the last, trying to think when our present provider came on board, was probably in 09 or 2010. They have a, for lack of a better term, a fruit drink that's fortified with calcium and vitamin D. I get that complaint a lot. I'm not getting any milk. We do right now provide milk to pregnant individuals. All other people get this fortified drink. They get it breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's kind of like, I don't want to say Gatorade or Kool-Aid, but it's kind of along those lines. But it is a fortified drink, and it's fortified. You know, you need to have vitamin D in order for your body to metabolize, I guess, calcium. So I'm aware of that, and that is there. Also, the present food provider, as well as any future food provider, they all have licensed dietitians that are on staff. All meal menus have to be signed off on by that dietitian. And the final thing, the language barriers, we do have several different sources. Obviously, if it's somebody who is Spanish-speaking, it's really not an issue. We have a number of individuals who are bilingual that are employed there, but we always have one male, at minimum, one male and one female inmate who's paid to be a translator. That's for Spanish-speaking. There are other languages that come out, that come into the building that the people aren't proficient in English, and there is something called the language line. We do pay a monthly fee for access to the language line, so it's kind of like a third-party calling. We would call, they would translate to the individual who would then speak to the person on the phone who would translate it back into English on us. It's a complicated matter, but we've done Uzbekistan. We've had every country and every language that I'm aware of.
INS.
And they're really good, and it's a service. I don't know how much it costs, but it costs a couple bucks a month, and it's well worth it because it helps us to communicate all issues, medical and other. So I don't think I missed anything else.
Thanks, Warden. Okay, members, other business?
Yeah, I have one announcement that I'd like to make at 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock today, I will be meeting with Core Civic. If anyone from the board is interested in attending, they're certainly welcome. And this is one of the businesses that had responded when I had requested to look into privatizing the prison. So this is the first meeting I'm having with the first group that has reached out to me, and there's 2 others, according to our Chief of Staff, Andy Wallace. So anyone that is on the board that's interested to attend is welcome to do that. And I will make sure I have a little report written up for you for the next meeting so you know what I found out. Thank you.
Any other members? Can I have a motion to adjourn? Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.